Namaskaram everyone. In the previous narration, we saw how Kardama Prajapati bowed down to Lord Narayana and asked him to grant non-attachment to the objects of the world while making him efficient enough to perform dispassionately the duties imposed on him by his father, Brahmaji. Lord Narayana also bestowed upon Kardama Prajapati Devi Devahuti, the daughter of Manu and Shatarupa, and in time who will bear 9 daughters, and these daughters will in turn get married to the rishis Marichi and others. He also said that how pleased he was with the wisdom of Kardama to not be involved in the world and seeking the Lord while performing his duties, and said that he himself would be born to Kardama as his son. Further, he added that he would establish the Sankhya philosophy on earth. Kardama's ashrama was situated such that river Saraswati flowed on either side of it. This is the significance of how a wise man like Kardama's life was led by Vidya, surrounding him on both sides and guiding his life. Vidya here is not just bookish knowledge or intellectual understanding, but a life free from ignorance while performing one's karma. The Lord, who was so pleased since his very tears had fallen there, that holy spot came to be known as Bindu Saras, where the tears of joy, seeing the devotion in his bhakta, was shed from the eyes of Narayana himself. Swayambhu Manu, in the meanwhile, was travelling fast towards Bindu Saras. With him was his wife Shatarupa and his daughter Devahuti. He had brought costly silks and jewels with him, and he travelled towards the ashrama. Soon he reached the holy spot. Followed by his servants who were carrying his gifts, Manu entered the ashrama of Kardama and walked towards him. Kardama had just completed the worship of the fire, the Agnihotra. He was himself glowing like fire because of the spiritual awakening in him following the sight of the Lord. Manu was pleased to see that he was very handsome and that he had eyes which were gentle and full of compassion. Manu went and prostrated to the feet of Kardama, and Kardama blessed him and offered him arghya, padya, the other customary things offered to a guest. He honored Manu since Manu was a monarch. Manu received them all with humility and sat at the feet of the rishi. Kardama spoke sweetly to him about the welfare of his kingdom and the happiness of the people under the rule of Manu. He said, "I am honored by the visit of such an illustrious person like you. You are the monarch of the world, and you have come to my humble cottage. I honor you because you are the image of Narayana. A king is said to be Lord himself. He is said to be the sun, moon, fire, Indra, Vayu, Yama, Dharma, Varuna, and Narayana. By his prowess, he becomes like a sun. He pleases by the sweetness on his face, and thus he resembles the moon. His power is so great that the ordinary mortals cannot approach him, and that is where he resembles Agni, the fire. He rains riches and prosperity on the kingdom he rules, and so a king is said to be like Indra. He should know the innermost thoughts of those who are around him, like the air, like the Vayu which can enter everywhere. Destruction of evil is his role, like that of Yama, and protecting the good like Dharma. His dignity and innateness are like those of Varuna, and he is the representative of Narayana on the earth. This is the reason why a king should be honored like a divine being. So say our Puranas, and truly, this is how a king is meant to be. As for the reason which prompted you to come to this heritage, I assure you, try my best to please you, said Kardama. Embarrassed by the words of praise which Kardama had spoken, Manu spoke humbly and said, "You have been born from the face of the Lord to propagate tapas, knowledge, selflessness, detachment. We Kshatriyas have been born of the arms of the Lord to protect great souls like you and to help propagate the lessons you have learnt. We protect each other, and when you say that you are pleased with my rule, I consider it my good fortune that I have been able to please you. Compassionate as you are sure to listen to my words and grant me what I ask for. Dear listeners, this is the beautiful symbiotic relationship between a Brahmana and a Kshatriya. The Varna system is not to establish superiority or inferiority, but to establish coexistence and harmony in society. Kardama himself, being blessed by Lord Narayana, but yet being able to see the king as Narayana because of the qualities, compares him to the various elements, the various gods like the sun, moon, fire, Indra, Vayu, Yama, Dharma, Varuna, and Narayana, because of the way he conducts himself. Truly, Sanatana Dharma is an exemplary example of what truly living in coexistence and harmony is all about. Manu continued, I have 5 children. Uttanapada and Priyavrata are my sons, and my daughters are Akuti, Prasuti, and Devahuti. Being the father of daughters is a difficult state. I am worried as to who will be the fit persons to marry my daughters. This is my daughter Devahuti, and she has heard about you and your glory from Narada, and ever since then she has set her heart on you. She has chosen you as her Lord. Lord Narayana has also instructed me to approach you with this request. I am therefore asking you to grant me my wish. Please accept this child of mine and honor me. Kardama said, I have been thinking of marriage since some time. Your daughter, you say, has chosen me as her husband. I am happy to accept her as my wife. She is beautiful, and she does but eclipse the glow of the jewels she is wearing. But I must tell you something before I accept her. I will live with her in the Grihasthrama married state until she becomes the mother of my children. After that, I will leave her in order to perform tapas and reach the Lord. A man who has followed the 3 ashramas, Brahmacharya, Grihastha, and Vanaprastha, must become a sannyasi and renounce his wife, his home, and his children. This is my intention. Manu and Shatarupa then gave their daughter Devahuti in marriage to Kardama. Leaving behind their daughter in the picturesque spot, Bindusaras, the emperor returned to his city, which was called Barhishmati. The city was a holy spot. It was here that the sacred Varaha, while sniffing around the earth, had shed some of the hair from his body. Out of the hair grew grass by the name Kusha and Kasha. The official name for this grass is Barhis, and thus the city was named Barhishmati. Manu had performed a yajna on this spot with this barhis spread on the Yajna Vedi, and this was in the name of Adivaraha. The land which was thus sanctified was named Brahmavarta. Hari Om.